Hey, Bad Buns. Happy January 2023. Happy Lunar New Year. It's the year of the bunny. Let's get going. Just had the Knife Bunny Game Jamboree this past weekend, and it was a lot of fun. In case you're not know, that's a 4-hour live stream game jam that I host every year as a celebration of the anniversary of Knife Bunny, as well as for its community. And there was a lot of cool games that came out of that. Beth made Foragers, which is a game about kids collecting things like leaves and rocks and feathers and mushrooms and exchanging them with other kids, and is adorable and perfectly captures the energy of my kid collecting like refuge and putting it into my purse. And so I love it. Jane made a game about playing as crows murdering landlords, a murder of crows murdering, and I think that's super duper awesome and based. And she had like very aesthetic, very cool looking crows to go along with her game, and one of them really resonates with me. Darcy, yeah, love that one. So, and then for myself, before I get into my game, uh, Nonepub was also this past weekend, and they also hosted the game jam. The jamboree was very poor planning on my part. My bad. I'm very I forgot there was something going on that week. They were hosting a game jam as well, with the criteria of a season's theme, must not have written numbers, and must include building. And so I was double dipping on that game jam along with my Proto Spiel challenge, which I had to make a pirate like hidden movement game. And I ended up wanting to make a time travel game. I had this concept for a while where you're time traveling against yourself at different stages of your life, and ultimately I ended up retheming butterflies to reduce the scope of that game, and the no written numbers requirement made me simplify that game significantly. I'm actually really digging those changes. So yeah, I worked on butterflies over the weekend. Now it's just butterfly because it's just one person, and now it's a lot gayer and a lot simpler, and I like it. I'm probably not gonna work on it for a long time because I got a big queue, but that was very fun. Yeah, it was great to work on that. Another part of Nunpub was that I was on a game jam panel with Beth and Rochelle and Angel, and that was a lot of fun. We talked about all the benefits of game jams and basically like reasons to participate, things to watch out for. So if you're curious, I would check out that video. That's gonna be right there. Yeah, right there. And so, and in addition to that, Nunpub also had a feedback frenzy, and I gave a little pitch of Unraveled in there. Stunlocked the judges as they were playing the game that I asked them to play. I was not expecting it, and I got freaked out when everybody was quiet. That's also, well, that one's right there. Actually, I'm not sure if the other one's up yet, but hopefully it'll be up soon. And yeah, that was Nunpub. So so speaking of Unraveled, shortly before the feedback frenzy thing, I had actually put my print and play for Unraveled up onto itch.io. So now that's available. If you're wanting to check out that game or print it, it's been a long time coming. It's like my second most mature design, and I'm only just now putting it onto itch.io. So yeah, that felt like an accomplishment. I'm really happy with the design, needs development work. I did not get as much interest as I would like for regular playtesting, so I need to look into other other methods, maybe like take home kits and achievement things. I'm not sure. I'll need to figure it out. But yeah, other than Unraveled, there was Protospiel since my last vlog. And during Protospiel, I got to test out VelociRapture. I tested it with twice as many cards and with the setup involving making sure there's an equal or at least somewhat evenly distribution of coping mechanisms that involve like serious things and silly things. And that went over really well. In fact, I was really happy with how it played with extra cards. Players felt like they had a lot more freedom to do things like keep cards or do goofy things with the cards. So that's a huge win for me. So I just need to make a whole bunch more micro games and coping mechanisms for it. But this is unfortunately one of those designs that are lower on my priority queue just because I have so many other things to work on. Such as Bread, which was another game that I play tested a lot at Protospiel. I'm starting to feel I would So, funny story. I was feeling really good about the design, so much so that I updated my print and play on itch.io, so that's available now. But like shortly after creating the print and play, I was thinking this game seriously needs a catch-up mechanic. So like Bread is like an engine builder, but it's an engine builder where your engine is incredibly fragile. It really takes just one person deciding to be a jerk one time to like ruin your engine. And I had been dismissing this as like, yeah, what do you think's gonna happen when somebody like wrecks your stuff? Like it's gonna feel bad. And the game is about trying to realize that. But I don't think people are going to like take that message away from the game. They're just gonna be like, this game sucks and is bad, and I don't want to engage with it or anything it's trying to tell me. So I think it needs some sort of catch-up mechanism in a sense, and some I'm playing with some ideas, but this is another design that's lower on priority. Eh, eh. Okay. Um, I got distracted. I hit my set and I'm distracted. I'm distracted. Or yes. So this is a lower priority design, but some things I'm thinking about is that I'm on the base cards, which I introduced, which have like one of each of your default symbols, the build and the fire and the trucks. I would introduce a flip side where there's extra fire. So you don't want to flip to that side because it'll burn through the deck really fast. But it would give you like bonus symbols and maybe like extra symbols that do like completely new things. So that's the idea that I'm playing with. Something to make it so that you don't want to put somebody into a desperate situation because then they might just burn down the whole world. So yeah. Yeah, so I mentioned that it's lower on my priorities, and that might come off as kind of odd because it had been like kind of a higher priority for a while, but the reason for that is that the game crafter is having a meta progression challenge, and Opacity is perfect for that because that's a game that changes where like the changes persist between games, but it's resettable. And so so that's pretty much at the top of my priority list. I want to see if I could get that into a stable state in 3 months for that contest. And so I've been working on that one quite a bit. I had been really attached to the idea that the cards needed to be arranged in such a way that they're visible, like the rules are visible to everybody. But I started thinking about the way people play games. Like, usually what happens is like one person reads the rules, explains the rules to everybody else, and then sometimes somebody might ask to see the rules so they can understand the nuance a bit better or understand like an edge case or a secret strategy thing. But like if the rules are this like mess that you have to keep arranged on the table, it's not very suitable. It's not really feasible to like maintain that shape and structure as you're like playing and sharing and moving the rules around. So I'm going to adopt the structure a little bit more like Women Are Werewolves or For the Queen, where the rules are on the cards and you like flip them to the back as you read through the pages. So this does a lot of fun things because now it's got a structure where I can like have each card like have like a page number, and that would indicate where in the flow like the rule would go. Like if you have a page 2 rule already and you want to add a page 2 rule, it would have to replace that one. And I'm also introducing a concept of constructs where like if a card calls out a symbol that's not in the game yet, there are these default cards for those symbols that basically introduce the foundational mechanics for it. So there are going to be some cards that introduce like this cooperative element or this like currency element. And so these default cards will make sure that no matter, even if like no matter which rule gets added that references it, there will be a solid foundation for that mechanic to play a piece into the game. Oh, this is very early design, so very up for change. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I have a lot of stuff coming up. I have some big news that I anticipate coming out in like a day or so. And if you want updates on stuff like that, I would recommend my Discord or my Mastodon. And then also, like, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, thank you. I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, wait. Oh, one more thing about persuasion.